¿Cómo está? And welcome back, my Valkyries of Midgard. I have returned with a new video. Now, a bit of another update. Because it is taking me so much time to actually create and edit a video, I have decided to just drop all booktube related videos. At least for now. To me, I think this is fine because I don't really have a mountain of book like some of these other booktubers here on YouTube have. But I will be able to focus solely on writing and author-related videos. I think I have more ideas for those videos than book-related videos. Not to mention, almost always, something comes up preventing me from doing the next video, which explains such a slow start here. Anyway, if you want to stay up to date with what I am doing, then please feel free to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram. All links will be down below. Now on to the video. This week's video will now go over how your world came to be. Now, I'm sure this might be a tad bit of a touchy subject depending on your beliefs, ideals, whatever. But when creating a fantasy story or any story created in make-believe has a story or two, or many, on how their own world came to be. You actually can turn to many current and past religions for reference on how worlds, religious-wise, came to be. If mysticism doesn't suit you, then please turn to science because that is another source of reference on how worlds came to be. Now, if you went the way of science, you may have to do a lot of research so that you will at least have the correct information needed to bring your world to life. If you prefer the way of mysticism and deities, then please take your pick at every religion, regardless of current or past, has very vastly different ideas on how the world, people, and creatures came to be. Many are hilariously weird and others are just whoa. Many stories are both chaotic and orderly, but it still depends on you. For my novella, The Call for Finis, the story that is being spread on the creation of the world is very similar to Christianity and Catholicism. There is one great deity, but for the creation of the world, it actually wasn't alone. It created other smaller deities to take charge in certain creations, such as the sea, ice, etc. At least, that is what is said by the demon Ultor. Christian religion, on the other hand, says there is only one great deity, and all other deities being worshipped are nothing but false gods spread by the evils of Infernus. Crazy, I know. In this world that is, the Call for Finis, there are three realms. Heaven, home to the Almighty One and angels, basically a holy realm of light. The middle realm, Eldara, is home to humans, elves, dwarves, whatever. Basically the mortal realm. Lastly, we have Infernus, home to the demons and fallen angels. This realm is ruled over by Lucifer, who gladly punishes sinners without remorse. Now the world creation I created is very simple. In the beginning, there was darkness, and in that darkness, there was a sudden cosmic explosion of light and stars. A universe was born, and in the center of that universe is a great ball of light. From this light was born many creatures, great ones at that. Each of these creatures have a specific duty. Help the Almighty One create. And soon, a world was born. Fire, earth, water, sky, sun, moon, nature, mountains, time, life, and death. Yeah, that should be it. By the way, I hope you guys have your own journals to write down all your own ideas. Regardless if the information is going in the book or not, it is just something that I think is nice to have. Now, hidden in this world is a garden. A beautiful and bountiful garden known in the mortal tongue as the Garden of Vita. Then we get into Christianity and Catholicism with the animals, humans, and all the other good stuff. Now, for my novel, Valhalla, the Fire Sage, although I'm using Norse mythology, I have taken it upon myself to change it still. I'm afraid I just found the original story way too weird for me, but in my story, the original story is referenced, but it is debunked by the main character. In this, we can either say new or alternate world creating. In the beginning, floating alone in the cosmic nothing of space, there was a large green glow, and within this glow is a single seed. Suddenly, the seed explodes and a massive tree is born. Roots grow and expand in the void. The tree is somewhat hollow inside. In the center is a small, bright green flower that glows a beautiful aqua. The flower blooms and out comes a beautiful deity. Her name is Yggdrasil. From this point, life begins to grow a bit around the tree. Land begins to stretch, dirt and grass slowly spread from the base of the tree. Yggdrasil is, of course, bound to the tree. She can't leave it, ever. She doesn't know why, but she is a prisoner of her own making, I suppose. After some time passes, Yggdrasil comes to realize that she can venture throughout the tree, especially the ever-spreading roots of the tree down below. She ventures below and comes upon a spring. This spring is pouring with life. Moss, mushrooms, strange flowers, and insects surround the spring. Now, I'm going to try and speed things along because I am worried this video is starting to get a bit long. With the spring, she is able to create life herself, with the elements she has around her. Her first two creations is a hawk she named VTCOY, and a squirrel she named Ratatoskr, that she created using clay and covered them in her green blood. One dip in the blue spring before her, and the creatures emerged with life of their own. These creatures started out small, but eventually grew and are not beholden to the limits of this tree, and are freely able to come and go as they please. Eventually, the hawk VTCOY grew lonely and asked for a mate from Yggdrasil. She happily complied and provided him with a mate made the same way as he. Ratatoskr is a happy and energetic creature, so he never asked for a mate of his own. After some time has gone by, Yggdrasil herself grew lonely again, similar to VTCOY, and thought to make a mate of her own. She made a figure using clay, but instead of dousing the figure in her blood, she instead injected it with her blood. She carefully places it in the spring, and eventually a man floated to the surface. This is now the birth of the first god of Asgard, and his name is Buri. Eventually the two fell in love, but Yggdrasil can't properly procreate, dipped herself in the spring, and 25 children were born. Get the little weirdness. Then we have the more creative fun of creation. All the other realms in Norse mythology were created by a single seed from Yggdrasil, a similar seed that gave birth to her tree. With her children and grandchildren present watching, she drops the seed into the spring, acting as a portal to the void. And they all witness a similar explosion that gave birth to the Asgard tree. Then with each god, they create the new realm, land, sea, sky, whatever, and BAM! Each different realm were born, eventually. All of the other realms' trees are very much connected to the great tree in Asgard, so everybody is connected. That is my world creation. When it comes to creating your own type of world, I know in a lot of Norse mythology they can get very, very weird. Do you have to go very, very weird? No, you can be as sane as you want, for anybody cares. It is your world, it's your story. George R. R. Martin, in his Game of Thrones series, has several point of views on how the world was created, each people following vastly different gods from the others, some multiple, some single. You got the Lord of Light, who is the one true god. Then you got I don't remember the place that this is called, but it's the drowned god, it's a kraken, basically, in this one section of Westeros. Then you got the Dothraki, who worship the horses, that it's a loyal companion and a friend that you must respect. Everyone who dies, in specific ways, are able to go to this heavenly plane that their gods came from, or that the horses came from, the lands came from, everything came from. And then you have the death god, the many-faced god, the 7 pentagram god that Westeros has, and then you got the tree gods in Westeros as well. It's a lot. It's a lot of religion. That's pretty much how it was back in the day when there was all these mythologies. There was all these different religions. Like currently, we also ourselves have vastly different religions from one another. It just depends on what you think for your story these religions provide. Are they important? Are they just something in the background? Is it something that is trying to bar your characters from progressing to the story? This is your story. This is your world. You can do whatever you want to it. Just make sure it makes sense. That's the key thing here. It has to make sense. Now, once you have how the world was created, and then what your world looks like, the next fun step is the race of beings that live in your world. You have tribes, an advanced race with a city so complicated the only thing left of their life is the ruined city. What about vampires, elves, werewolves, dwarves, and orcs? They exist, or once existed in your world. This is your world, so go have some fun with it. And remember to look up reference on what you think up and create. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and helpful. If you want to watch more, please like this video and subscribe down below by clicking on the bell icon to be notified. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Please stay tuned for more videos. Bye bye!